Oh boy, hello and welcome to the Frankfort Report. It is April 16th. Oh shit, I gotta call my buddy Gorman. Happy birthday, Gorman. Holy Jesus. Is Gorman 50 today? No way. My buddy Gorman is 50 today. I have to remember to call him after this. That would be horrible. I know I got a note somewhere. I better make sure I have a note to call my buddy Gorman on this lovely day where the Bank of Canada did nothing. Well done, Gorman B-Day in the calendar. All right, I'm safe. Thank goodness. Holy jeez. I was pretty sure. Can you guys hear me okay? How's my sound? Hello, everybody. Dumb money. We are fucked, but already knew that. D. Trent, beautiful. Loves the negative news. Sheridan Forbes is in the house. Hit the like button, folks, for more great content and moments. Thank you, Sheridan Forbes. Thank you for your service. The awful James Roffle is here. Hello. Dumb Money says, Derry is the only podcaster to watch live. Just needs to dump the Jays season tickets and he'd be the best. I do not have season tickets. I have a son who is a loyal baseball fan and was very excited about the Vladimir Guerrero $500 million per homer signing. I feel like I'm too loud. Am I too loud? I feel like this bar I'm looking at is too loud. I got this new hookup here. How's that? Is that better? I don't know if the new hookup is working. I don't know how things work around here anymore. Am I too quiet now? Should I burp test it? Should we burp test it? Charlotte's here. She said she was going to be watching some French thing that I don't really care for, I'm sure. French. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Okay, so sorry about the other day. I took my son to the baseball game to celebrate Mr. Vladimir Guerrero. We were two of the people in the crowd. There was about five of us total, including me and my son. It was very empty. It was very quiet. It was quite somber. Fine, says Charlotte. I'm hoping that you're talking about my audio. Dumb Money, D. Trent, James Roffle, welcome back to the Muppet Boiler Room, says Sheridan Forbes. Where's Jim Van Unsk? Where's the Unsk mobile? All right, so everybody's here that needs to be here, and everybody that isn't here shouldn't be here at this point in time, and that's just the way that it is supposed to be. So, what do we got going on? Bank of Canada does nothing. Why do you think that they did nothing? What do I think? And now, everybody will probably think I'm a moron, but I think the only good reason, well, okay, let's see. Unemployment's up, so that's bad, right? Inflation is down, so that's good, right? So the bad and the good cancel each other out. No move on interest rates. That must be the depth of the thinking that the Bank of Canada did here. Because I don't know. Are we maybe I'm imagining things. I mean, no one was at the Blue Jay game, but it was a Monday and it was against a crappy team. And I mean, let's be honest. Nobody likes the Blue Jays anymore. I don't know why, but I mean, if you go to the mall, there seems to be a lot of people at the mall. And if you go out in the streets, there seems to be a lot of people out in the streets downtown. We were in Niagara-on-the-Falls. There seemed to be a lot of people there, at least on the weekend. So people are still spending money. But I feel like, excuse me. God, already? I feel like they're not. I feel like people are definitely tightening up, right? I don't think there's too many people going away for no reason for 5 days out of nowhere without planning it. That's not normal, okay? Our economy is in too good to move rates. Well, so is the only thing that I can really think, because I really think, and I think a lot of other people, far smarter than I, assumed that rates were going to get cut because the economy feels like a piece of shit, right? The economy feels like a piece of shit right now. I guess depending on your vantage point. So, you know, if you're working in a company and you've been there for a while and you haven't been laid off yet, and maybe you're never going to get laid off, like you're not really, you're not really thinking about this that much, especially if maybe you don't have a mortgage and you got a good job and you're like 44 and everything's groovy, right? There's got to be a bunch of those people. But Econ 101 lecture by Darryl. Let's talk real estate. Oh, stop it, Darryl. BC real estate seems frisky. What am I supposed to be stopping? What am I even saying? What did I say? Should they have paused? Are you guys saying that you agree with the pause? Are you saying that the pause is good? The pause is bad? The economy is good? What am I missing? I'm going to hit the dislike button to be different. No, why the fuck would you do that? Okay, so I don't care what you fuckers say because you're not helping. LOL, Rosie. JK. Well, you guys are not even. Do you guys have your own language here in the chat? Anyways, so they didn't do anything, and what does that signal to people? That the market is good enough to not do anything. Right? To not manipulate, to not adjust. Is that not what that means? Am I missing something? Somebody tell me why I'm so stupid. No cut 0.5%. Yes. What? You guys are not speaking English, which means I have to ignore you because what's the point of speaking to people that don't speak English if I don't speak the language that they're speaking? And trust me, I do that plenty. On a daily basis, it seems. I actually recorded a call, funny enough. Should we do this? That's a wonderful segue. I recorded a call between me and, well, let's see if I can find it, because it's kind of funny. One moment, please. Here we go. Let's see. Is it playing? Doesn't sound like it. What? Oh, it didn't even work. That sucks. Why didn't it work? I can't record my phone calls? Son of a bitch. Oh, anyways. Okay, well, that's good. The level of service, okay, and the people working the jobs is incredulous, if that's a word. I know it's a word because I've heard it before. Whether the context is correct is another story. And you'll tell me, you'll forgive me. Oh, Jesus Christ. The quality of this show is reached a new peak, everybody. And I do apologize if you have been here before. And I do apologize if you haven't been here before because you have no idea what you're in for. I do apologize. D. Trent, you're right. I should have the Hulk. We talked about it, okay? Me and the production crew, we did talk about the Hulk clips. They will be coming. I probably could have used them today. I do apologize. Muhammad nailed it. Who the fuck is Muhammad? Oh, there's Muhammad. We got a new guy here. Muhammad Hassan Murad. Bigger cut is coming when employment goes down more. Well, thank you. Thank you for that. Muhammad nailed it, says Dumb Money. Did Dumb Money flip? Is Dumb Money a bear now? They should have raised rates. We have to stop punishing savers and rewarding debtors. Sorry. Okay. They have to stop punishing savers and rewarding debtors. If they cut rates, bond buyers will vanish. I didn't think economy was okay. Sheldon, are you a saver? Bad days are here. Okay, you didn't think the economy was okay. I don't know. The economy, I don't think it is okay, but why? So tell me then, Trent, if that is your real name, why didn't they cut today? Everybody thought that they were going to cut. You probably thought that they should cut, didn't you? Bad days are here. What kind of nonsense is that? What are you Shazzy goalie? Is D. Trent really Shazzy goalie? Are you trying to freak us all out here? I don't understand. See, I mean, I already locked in. I'm actually still, believe it or not, what day is today? Wednesday. We were supposed to close this mortgage on Friday. And I still haven't closed it officially, I don't think, as of yet. I'm getting like these texts saying, We're going to need you to sign the back of the credit card that you used as one of your ID verifications. I needed a passport. This is like a renewal. I don't know what's going on, but some lawyer is earning some fees, I'll tell you. That is so annoying. And guess who's going to pay? At the end of the day, it's some poor, super wealthy end user is going to pay. The economy is okay, question mark, laughing at me, smacking the head, crying, says boo-hoo. RV and power sports markets are being obliterated. Is that a problem? Election box. What does that mean? Ha ha. Do you have gold coins in the backyard too? Okay, you guys are providing nothing here of value, I must say. Not that I am, but you guys certainly aren't helping things much. So nobody knows what's going on. Once again, the only thing that I can think of, and call me stupid, okay, is that Mr. Carney, the savior, Mr. Carney, the savior, the economic genius, the economic hitman, maybe, have you ever heard of that? Have you ever heard of an economic hitman? Well, that's Mark Carney. Mark Carney has made it seem like he's come up with, a way to win all of this stuff, I think. And so Mark Carney, maybe he's just flexing and saying, we don't need to cut rates. We're okay. Everything is fucking rosy here, right? Says Tiff McCallum, and Bank of Canada friend, Bank of Canada, World Economic friend, current Prime Minister friend of Tiff McCallum, buddy, right? These guys are probably in cahoots. So it's like, you know what? We need to show strength. Things are okay. Inflation under control. And let's not forget, we think that the tariff thing, we think that the tariff thing is inflationary, which of course it is. It increases the price of things. But it increases the price of things that we need, and it increases the price of things that we don't need. And so what will likely happen is we will spend more money on the stuff that we do need and less money on the stuff that we don't need, right? Like, iPhones and stuff, which that's a whole other subject, because so I think that, the fact that demand is so down on everything already, demand is so down on everything already because things are not really good and people are holding on to their dollars, right? People are holding on to their dollars because they're not sure what is down the street or down the road or around the corner, shall we say, around the corner. So people are, I think, chilling out a little bit, and markets are not moving, and houses are not selling, and furniture is not selling, and lawyers are slower with closings. Maybe some of them are busier with lawsuits on other closings. Mortgage brokers are dead. Not dead, physically dead, but like they have nothing to do. Realtors, of course, have nothing to do. And all the ancillary, appraisers, so on and so forth, all this stuff is slowing down. Tile stores, hardwood stores, lumber mills, what have you, so on and so forth, etc. Right? All these things are likely slowing down. So demand coming down, the price on things is going up as the demand is coming down. So is that going to, think people just won't buy more of the stuff they're not buying because the price is going up, right? The price is going up and the demand is already down. It's going to push it further in the shitter because they didn't cut rates to help stimulate things, But we have a new thing in the background looming that we have to figure out how to deal with, if you know what I'm talking about, and you probably don't. But have you seen what China has done as part of their retaliation? Forget about the retaliatory tariffs. Did I say that right? It didn't sound right coming out of my mouth. Retaliatory tariffs. Yeah, I think that's right. Did you see what China's done? Did you see what China has done? Okay, maybe I'm jumping ahead of myself, but China's made some moves, man. I don't know. Are you on TikTok? Is anybody out there on TikTok? Because China's making some moves. China's making money moves, bro. And I think maybe, oh my God, maybe Canada picked the right side. Maybe Canada's sticking to China like glue, or being owned by China will work out in the end, because they could have pulled a maneuver or two of late that will not allow the United States to continue their stranglehold on things. And so what do I mean? Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Does anybody care what I'm talking about? Or are you guys just here to talk in the boiler room? I don't know. Does anybody care? Okay, so what's the effect on real estate right now? None. There's no effect on real estate at all. It's just we're in a holding pattern with this, right? We're going to be in a holding pattern with this. Let's see what our friends on the interweb are saying about the I don't even know what to call it. The vagina move of the Bank of Canada, because I think this was a ballless sack move by Mr. Tiff Macklem. No balls at alls from Tiff Macklem on this day at all. Now, I hope that you get to see what I'm seeing. We've got our buddy Luke from Market Mania, who says Bank of Canada holds interest rates at 2.75%. Yes. Initial market moves, Canadian dollar rising, yields rising, CAD USD. Okay. Sworn enemy of conventions. Okay. He says, this has to be temporary, except they are not in tune with economic reality in Canada. I think that that could be, in fact, the case. The problem is it came from sworn enemy of convention. Keeping It Real says it's pretty obvious banks are signaling, don't rely on us anymore. Is that what they're signaling? The markets have been far too dependent on central bank policies, and we need to get back to Really? Is that what this is saying? I don't know. Inflation risk is too high to cut at the moment. Really? I don't see inflation risk. I really don't. Am I crazy? Who the hell's buying stuff? Nobody's buying stuff. People are buying some stuff, but people aren't buying stuff. Houses aren't moving. Buildings aren't getting built. Do you understand the drag? I don't think that demand's coming back anytime soon. This guy, JT, says, whoa, what the fuck? Next move is up, says John Galt 2.0. I think that that's just silly. Okay? Next move is not up. There's not going to be inflation anytime soon. That's what I'm saying, okay? There will not be inflation anytime soon. Did I press the button or did I screw everything up? There will not be inflation anytime soon again, okay? And I think next rate announcement is a cut. Next time is a cut for shizzle, for shazzle. Has to basil. Right? It has to be. It has to be a cut next time, because who the fuck knows what Trump's going to do and China's going to do between now and then. When's the next one? Early June. Bank of Canada meeting dates 2025. June 4th. I knew it. That's what I said. Rewind the tape if you don't believe me. I said June 4th, didn't I? I'm pretty sure that I did. I'm pretty goddamn sure that I did. You know what? I pressed the button and I closed my notes. And I do apologize that you are here for these shenanigans. I do apologize that I'm not more prepared. Once again, I am not prepared. Now we have Ben Rabidou, who he is a very, I don't know, maybe he's nobody, maybe he's somebody. He's been involved in some stuff. He's got a big following on the X, right? 45,000 people. People appreciate his opinion. People care what he has to say. People like him. Bank of Canada holds rates. I thought they'd cut. I thought they'd cut too, but nobody gives a fuck apparently. Nobody gives a fuck apparently. There's quite a theme in the messaging here. Is there? Well, he's highlighted the word uncertainty 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times on this one page. So, yes, I would imagine if I read this, and I don't really want to read this. Do you guys want me to read this? The Canadian economy ended 2024 strong. However, okay, guys, it's April. In February and March 2025, the United States repeatedly threatened, imposed, and then suspended tariffs on Canada and Mexico. Yeah, no shit. It's a roller coaster. Significant U.S. tariffs remain in place, particularly on steel, aluminum, and motor vehicles. Oh, motor vehicles. Steel. Then on April 2nd, the United States announced high and broad-based tariffs on nearly all of its other trading partners. 1 week later, on April 9th, it reduced most of these tariffs for 90 days to a 10% universal rate. This universal tariff does not apply to Canada and Mexico. There is a great deal of uncertainty around what will happen next. Trade policy uncertainty is making it difficult for household businesses and governments to plan. It is also difficult to know how the tariffs will affect the economy. Okay. 2 layers of trade uncertainty. 2 layers of trade uncertainty are affecting the outlook for the Canadian economy. The first layer is around U.S. trade policy. It is difficult to know what tariffs will ultimately be imposed, the extent of countermeasures from Canada and other countries, how long the tariffs will last, the outcome of future negotiations, trade negotiations. Damn, I was on such a fucking roll there. The second layer of trade uncertainty relates to how households, businesses, and governments will react and adapt to tariffs. This layer of uncertainty is particularly relevant given the unprecedented scale of the shift in U.S. trade policy. To address the first layer of uncertainty, this report presents 2 more layers of uncertainty, with the uncertainty level going through the roof. It's uncertain to know how certain we can be about the level of certainty here today. Thank you. Thank you. We traffic in uncertainty. Okay. Clint Murphy's here. This guy has a name. Disappointing. I understand and the uncertainty behind it. I understand it and the uncertainty behind it, but I expect the frozen real estate sectors and potential recession should have outweighed the uncertainty of tariff-based inflation. I agree. What does Barfy have to say? They seemed reluctant to cut last time, and the Bank of Canada language was primed such that if they did 180 and raised it, wouldn't be inconsistent with language. Oh, for fuck's sakes, everybody. What is going on? What in the fucking world is going on? So anyways, there you have it. Nothing is going on. We have no rate cuts. Everybody thought we should have had rate cuts. They threw us for a loop, and it doesn't make, well, I guess it makes a difference. I mean, it certainly doesn't get the market moving. It just keeps us in a holding pattern. It just keeps us in a holding pattern. Okay, somebody wants to call in. I don't know if they're going to because I didn't respond. Dave, if you're out there, you can call in. If anybody's out there, feel free to call in whenever the hell you would like. There's the phone number. Now would be a great time for somebody to weigh in on things. That would be fantastic. That would be great. Would you like to comment? Anybody, would you like to call in? Now would be a fantastic time to call in. Send me a message. Send me a meme. Send me something you'd like me to post. How about that? Well, that's it. I guess nobody wants to do it again. How many vaginas can there be in one audience? Quite honestly, I don't know the answer to that. But if you're not a vagina and you have a finger, press the subscription button. Press the like button. Join the family of the Frankfort Report. Because why not? I mean, who else talks about real estate in this fashion, talks about the economy in this fashion, this many times? And let's not forget, okay? Let's not forget the funniest fucking videos on the earth that Aiden does every morning during the week at 6:30 a.m. I mean, those are the fun. Did you see the shit condo attack, the shit attack in the condo video? Did you see that? Did you see that? I saw it. You got to see it. The last few have been funny as absolute hell. Okay, what are you banditos talking about? Is there anything of value happening in the boiler room? I'm going to up my debt. Okay. Hello there. The show is getting better and better, says New Condo TO. Thank you. Appreciate that. Hi, Dina. Demand of everything is cratering. Demand of everything is cratering, says D. Trent. Settle down there, brother, dumb money. They won't cut just yet. Uh-oh. June is right around the corner. You did, wrote. Yes, Darryl, the great Canadian peso is coming to a city near you. I'm the only one who said biggest mistake in Canadian history, said D. Trent. The tariffs, dumb money. I called today and they offered 3.49 for primary and 3.99 for investment properties. James Roffle says, I'm with a credit union. Okay, so there's nothing going on. I hear Awful's rotary phone right now. Okay, the fish shit dating video was the best, says Dumb Money. Okay, so thank you for that. Thank you for being here. Once again, everybody, you will get nothing of value by being here, but thank you for being here nonetheless. Let's see. Did you see, this is an unbelievable video that the Carney, hold on, am I finished with real estate at the moment? No, I'm not. Okay, let's go to this topic because this is an interesting one. I had some discussions about this yesterday. So here's some more real estate, folks. A little bit more real estate. I don't know who's here for real estate. I don't know who's here for economics. I don't know who's here for burps and jokes. I don't know who's here for what, but we're all here together. We're here to see that Daniel Foch said, as he mentioned over a year ago, of course he did. I'd love to see the evidence. The condo sector would need a bailout. He probably did say that, actually, now that I think about it. He may have even said it on the Canadian Real Estate Show. I don't know. Maybe not. He's on a lot of things. So anyways, as I mentioned over a year ago, the condo sector would need a bailout. Canada's banks stepped in to de-risk the sector and provide liquidity because the government wouldn't for obvious reasons. Let's see. The Toronto Star. So we're not going to be able to see this because I'm not paying for this garbage. Oh, damn it. Well, I planned that out perfectly, didn't I? Real estate developers and one major bank offering blanket appraisals in scramble to something. To save pre-construction deals. Okay, I got it. I read it. I saw it. Did you see it? This punishes the pre-con speculators everyone hates so much because they have to honor their contracts and are now stuck in a cash flow and equity negative deal. But now the critics hate the banks instead. Say what you will about it. Okay, so what happened is RBC, is it RBC or CIBC? One of those two banks, I think it's RBC, offered blanket appraisals on new condos for appraisals that they did years ago. And so what they're doing basically is they're saving their construction loan and they're pushing the risk, or they're spreading the risk. They're pushing the risk onto the end user. So the investor, right? The investor that said, I'm going to pay $1,600 a square foot for this little tiny thing that everybody's going to want later, and signed a contract on. The bank has stepped in and said, don't worry about an appraisal. There's a blanket appraisal. What do you mean you don't know what a blanket appraisal is? You don't know what a blanket appraisal is? Really? You don't know what a blanket appraisal is? Okay, I'm going to fill you in. A blanket appraisal, okay? A blanket appraisal is when the bank says, don't worry about the appraisal. You know the price that you bought it at? We're going to give you that as the appraisal. Whatever you paid is the appraisal. You know why? Because we let these guys $150 million to build the building. And if you don't close, I'm not going to get my money. Because if you don't close and all these other people don't close, there's going to be a lot of problems. A lot of problems, right? If a whole mess of people don't close, there's going to be a lot of problems. So, you know what? We don't need to get an appraiser involved. We've got this thing. It's called a blanket appraisal. Okay? We're going to transfer. Okay, we're going to say, don't worry about it. I know it feels like you were stupid, but we've got you here. We told you we were going to give you the loan before, and we're going to give you the loan. Yeah, I know. We're nice guys. We're nice guys. I know. We're going to give you the blanket appraisal. We're going to give you the money, and you're going to figure it out. And if you don't figure it out, there's enough equity in there that will take over the unit. That part, you're not supposed to have heard. You're not supposed to have heard that part. And they don't really want to do that part, I don't think. They don't want to do that part, I don't think. But they'll do it if they have to. But what'll happen is, the investor now will have to figure out a way to get maximum rent and keep the unit occupied and sell it at some other point. Or at some other point, they're going to take a hit and sell the thing and make the bank whole. That is the idea, right? But what it does do is it allows the bank to release the construction loan, which is gigantic. And so at the very least, what is happening right now is if you're a good developer and you have a good balance sheet, right? If you're not one of these little rinky-dinky guys that are about to go out of business, right? If you're a good builder and you got a good balance sheet, then you may have a chance of getting an inventory loan, right? And an inventory loan also helps bail out the bank from their construction loan, right? So it's like, close everybody that'll close, get them all done, and we're going to give you a loan for whatever's left until you sell it off, as soon as you can. And they want to do that because they don't, right? They don't want to just fire sale everything to, finish the deal, because that'll get all kinds of other people pissed off and suing them and all kinds of other issues, right? So this is what we've got going on. We got blanket appraisals and we got those kind of shenanigans going on out there to help, I guess, prop up, shall we say, the pre-construction market that needs some help, okay? It needs some help. And so we go back to Daniel Foch saying, say what you will about it, but it was necessary to keep the construction sector from burning down. If that, bombs. If that happened, we'd see further make work projects and big government spending to keep construction employment low. Also, also brilliant, what? Where did the also go? Also, brilliant business on the bank's part. It's not just one of them, by the way, which is true. It's not just the one in the news that is doing this. Transfer the risk from one single developer's personal guarantee to hundreds of buyers who contractually committed to buying at that price, right? And gets the loan off the books, gets the money back in the coffers. Plus, you front load the risk to get a lower customer acquisition cost on a client who won't be able to shop their renewal for 10 to 15 years because nobody else will qualify them with negative equity and cash flow. Good point. That's a good point. I like that angle. Well, you know what? I guess there will be a potential need for lenders out there, a certain kind of lender out there, right? One moment, please. I need to... Jesus, sorry about that. I almost passed out from that. Time for a sip of something. My throat's already bugging me. I think I'm coming down with something. I'm feeling all congested. I'm extremely tired. I'm super fucking irritated. I didn't even want to do this live. My throat's bugging me. Oh, and now I'm just yapping away, just yapping away for 36 fucking minutes already. Yapping away. Okay, let's see. What else do I have to talk about? Now, let's get into some politics, shall we? Some politics, shall we? We have this really interesting video that came out from the Liberal Party. I don't know if you've seen it. I will share this with you once I cue it up momentarily. The Liberal Party came out with what I must admit is a brilliant marketing campaign. You see here, Liberal government comes out with this great commercial. And I don't know if you've seen it. If you've seen it, I do apologize. If you have not seen it, well, here we go.
I'm a retard.
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 I'm a retard. I'm a retard.
I'm a retard.
I'm a retard.
That last one there, Trudeau, did not sound like him at all. Did you notice Doug Ford was lumped in with the Liberals? I think that's a nice touch, right? And we can get to that later. Charlotte really wants me to get to that. She was all over the place today with Doug Ford is a Liberal. And he's backing Carney. We'll have to see. I got to see what she's got for me. But let's watch that again, because that was kind of funny, I think.
I'm a retard.
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 Doug Ford sounded like Doug Ford. Check that out, eh?
I'm a retard.
That's Doug Ford.
I'm a retard. I'm a retard.
I'm a retard.
I'm a retard.
I'm a retard.
I'm a retard. I'm a retard.
I'm a retard.
I'm a retard.
I'm a retard. That last one sucked. But I thought that that was funny and that you may or may not get a kick out of it. I don't know. You'll have to let me know. Although my comment section, once again, is not working. Oh, I tried to get that off mic. I got that on mic. I am a disgusting human being, and I apologize for that. I do apologize for my disgusting behavior. Once again, I don't know how you put up with me, but I do appreciate that you did. So the Liberals come out with this amazing video today, and I can't even believe it that they would put that out, but they did, and here we are. Now, there's another video that came out that people are talking about, and I think maybe now is a good time to show it. And I haven't seen it, to be quite honest with you. I have not seen it, but I hear it's funny. Let's watch the original version first, shall we? We've got Mark Carney and Mike Myers offshore up, spending an hour fixing the... I don't know what the fuck this means, but did you see this video of Mark Carney?
Get out of here. Out. Out.
Who are you yelling at?
The kids. This is my private rink.
Don't you hate that damn peasants?
Are you a rich man?
Yeah, but I pretend I like everyone else.
But you look like a peasant.
Yeah, so?
Do you remember offshore accounts?
The secret bank ones?
How many do you have?
Oh, Cayman and Swiss?
Bahamas.
Panama.
Luxembourg.
Monaco.
What's the best way to dodge taxes?
Shell companies, obviously.
What are the 2 seasons for the elites?
Davos and vacation.
Wow, you really are rich.
Yeah, but let me ask you, Mr. Central Banker, will the peasants ever get ahead?
They will always be peasants.
All right, offshore up.
Offshore up.
Oh, now I get it. Okay, so that was the wrong video. Clearly, it is not the video that I intended to show you guys. And I do apologize for that, although it was funny. Okay, so that wasn't what I was trying to show you at all. Maybe it's in here because where's the original? Is this the original? Let's see.
Let's go. Let's go.
Oh, Mr. Prime Minister, all right, excellent.
Mike Myers. But you live in the States. You don't live in Canada.
Well, neither do you until recently.
Touché. That's French for something. I don't do French. Do you remember Mr. Dressup?
No, sorry, can't do it. Very rarely does 22 minutes hit the mark, but this time, surprisingly, they did. No, they did not. Okay, so that bit fell flat for me. I apologize. I should have watched it first. If I watched it first, none of you would have been put through that shit. None of you would have been put through that shit. Now, I don't know. Are we having problems with the stream? Is everything okay? Are we seeing what I'm seeing? Is everybody happy? Do we want to end this right now? Do you want to end it right now? What are you guys saying? You just ruined Mike Myers for me. Mike Myers has been, what's the word? He has been compromised, it seems. Keep up the good work, Darryl, says Jason. Why? What did I do? Thank you. What did I do? Who cares? Let them default. They can F off, says Sheridan Forbes. Who? Screw the mortgage debtors crying for taxpayer dollars to get your own bleeping money. So-called investors. What are you talking about? Anyone saying condos need a bailout clearly don't understand 2-bedroom and 3-bedroom are virtually unchanged and moving fine, said Ver Nina Uno Uno. No, no, uno, uno. How do you say 9 in Italian? Niene uno, uno. Unfortunately, Shoebox Precon brings down all the numbers. It ain't no fool, it's O'Toole. Ah! Jeff O'Toole, call in. Jeff O'Toole, call into the show. Is this show still working? Are we having a technical difficulty that I don't understand? Are we having a technical difficulty that I don't understand? Jeff O'Toole, call in. Dumb Money, call in. Verte Nuno Uno, call in. Jim Van Uska's here. D. Trent, call in. Cynical Finch, somebody call in. The number's right there. WhatsApp me, call me. 9 November. I think we should bail out everyone, says Jeff O'Toole. I agree. Bail out everyone. Just like Jeff said, because Jeff has been known to be a genius in these parts. That's the truth, isn't it? Is that the truth? I don't know. I feel like we're having problems here on the live. Can somebody confirm that everything is okay with the live? I feel like I'm looking at something and it's not doing what it's supposed to do, and I'm getting a little freaked out. The stream's bit rate is lower than the recommended bit rate. We recommend that you stream a bit rate of 23,500 kbps. I don't have a clue what that means. I'll be honest with you. I don't know how to do that. But now, warning, the stream's current bit rate. How do I change the bit rate, everybody? Well, I guess we're fucked. Okay, so what I was alluding to earlier that I didn't get to because I got off on a real estate tangent. We were talking about the Bank of Canada rates, right? And how the Federal Reserve, the Bank of Canada did fucking nothing. They just sat there like a bunch of morons and did nothing, which is definitely not the right move for right now. Yeah, I got some more black licorice, right? You have to bear with me because it's time to sitting here. Oh shit! Sitting here with my daughter, she asked if this is a live stream. What does that mean? What does that mean? Can you not tell that this is a live stream? Is the production value so high of this thing that you can't tell? Is that what this means? Daughter of the infamous D. Trent? Somebody tell me what's going on. Is it so fucking good? Pardon my French to the daughter of D. Trent. Is it such a great stream? Or is it the opposite? What? Can you explain to your daughter why in the world you're even watching this garbage to begin with? Oh boy, someone's calling in. Here we go. I don't know who it is. I don't know what they want. Okay, hang on a second. Whoever you are, one moment, please. Let me get you on here. Phone. If I press this button, you're on. Who's this?
Hey, Darryl, it's Jeff.
Jeff O'Toole? Hold on.
Jeff.
What do we say? What did we say? Not a fool. It's Jeff O'Toole. What did he say there? Not a fool. Jeff O'Toole. Is it Jeff O'Toole or is it a different Jeff?
Yeah. No, that's me.
What's going on?
What are you doing?
I have no fucking clue, man. I'm so busy. I don't even know where I am. I'm like in the middle of,
man.
I'm in the middle of the refi from hell for some reason, and it's the strangest thing. But like, anyways, I don't even want to talk about it because I'll get all riled up. What's Jeff O'Toole, who's not a fool, up to at the moment?
What do you want to talk about? Pick a subject and we'll throw it around.
Let's throw around the idea of, okay, well, I didn't even get to the topic that I thought was really going to push down prices. So I guess we'll leave that till later. But I don't know. What do you think about the Bank of Canada doing fuck all today?
You know, I've become completely, I really don't even really care anymore. You know that? Everything that they seem to do, it really doesn't mean anything. Everything is, there's just so much more going on than the Bank of Canada today. It's like, well, whatever, rates are at 2.75, maybe an extra quarter point will help a guy that has $1 million in variable rate loans.
Yeah.
But, for the regular guy that, gets a 3 or 5 year mortgage, at this point, what does it matter? How much more relief are they going to get,
Right.
So I don't even actually anybody's even caring anymore because.
Well, maybe for little loans. What about the giant loans? Like every quarter point makes a giant difference on $150 million construction loan, let's say, or land loan,
that's
commercial loan.
That's out of my league. I don't know. I'm not dealing with guys that are doing $100 million, $150 million loans. Those guys, they're in a realm all their own, right?
Well, hold on a second.
You probably deal with them all the time, right?
Well, I don't know if I deal with it all the time, but I deal with bigger numbers regularly, and I know guys that deal with way bigger numbers than me. And I mean, listen, a quarter point is a quarter point, right? A quarter point is a quarter point. Now, does a quarter point Bank of Canada rate reduction translate into mortgage rates changing? I mean, listen, I thought I'm in the middle of a renewal that I thought, since the last time I renewed, rates have dropped. Bank of Canada rates have dropped 7 times. And guess what happened to my rate? It didn't drop at all. Yeah, well, right? Like, but this is what's going on land right now. It's a fucking disaster zone. So believe me, a quarter point helps, especially as these numbers get up into the tens of millions, hundreds of millions. That definitely helps some people. Now, if you're fucked, it doesn't make a difference, right? Like, if you're fucked, that quarter point doesn't unfuck you, I don't think. Especially when you're dealing in the bigger numbers. But I don't know, for somebody, who does it matter to? Does it matter to anybody, a reduction at this point? Doesn't it just send a signal to somebody?
Rate day used to be a big deal. Like, it used to be a big deal. Everybody used to get anticipated that the rates are coming down. They've cut every single meeting. Was it 7 or 8 times now? and everybody gets all worked up. The rates are coming down. The rates are coming down. The real estate industry goes crazy that this is going to be the one, and all those buyers are going to keep coming out. And what's the complete opposite? Now, there's guys that watch this stuff, myself included, that I said, I'm like, when the crap is going to hit the fan, nobody's going to come out of the wood. Like when rats are running from the ship.
When what hits the fan?
Are running now.
When
the
what?
crap hits the fan,
Oh,
meaning
crap.
everything-
Is that what you said?
everything's going
Crap?
down.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, when the crap hits the fan.
Yeah. Sorry.
Everybody's running for cover right now. So, like a quarter of a point, big deal, right? But I'm going to tell you a rate story. I'm going to tell you a loan story.
Okay.
Back, this was probably because I like to have a little bit of sense of what's going on. This was probably 15 years ago. I'd been running my business for about, I don't know, at this point maybe 4 years.
What's your business?
I was doing like elevating devices, putting in small elevators in houses and accessibility lifts, stair lifts, and wheelchair lifts. But most of the times I was doing elevators, like for high-end homes, like 2 and 3 stop custom elevators.
Okay.
But I'd been in the business for a long time since then, and I've been working out on my own 3 or 4 years, right? So this is tell you the plight of a small business owner. 3 or 4 years with the bank. I've been basically, hand to mouth. I would take, the one job. I'm sure you know how this goes, but you take one job. You pay your bills, then you put a little aside, and then you collect up, just collect a little bit up every time, right? And so I'm getting to the point, I had a manufacturer that I was going to be dealing with, and the manufacturer said, we're gonna take you on, and we're gonna give you an exclusive on all this product line. And I said, that's great, and they said, well, the manufacturer says, well, you're actually gonna have to pony up and get some inventory here, because I was just buying 1 at a time, 2 at a time, sort of penny any stuff, right? But so I go to the bank and I say, listen, I'm going to need a little bit of money. And I know I had a history with the bank, no overdrafts, no, always money in the account, like everything was always being paid, all the contractors being paid, everything was being paid, right? So I asked for a nominal amount of money, $50,000, for a line of credit, right? 4 years, 5 years of experience.
Unsecured or secured?
Unsecured.
Unsecured, you asked for $50K?
I asked for $50K.
You son of a bitch. You had no money in the bank? Did you have any money in the bank?
I had, just working 20, 25,000.
Yeah. How the hell did you expect to get any money?
I was buying one elevator at a time.
Yeah, this is Canada. You don't get loans for things like that. Only houses.
So you know how the story ends then?
No, I don't. Did you? But
the story ends. She calls and it was almost like she was laughing at me when she said, yeah, well, I applied for the 50 grand, right? And she says, well, you got a house. I'm like, yeah, I got a house, but what are you gonna, I can't get 50 grand. I've shown 5 years of money coming in and out of the account. This is just sort of the final step into the realm of things. But the banks don't care. They just they
don't give a shit.
This is what has happened with small business. They don't give a crap. All they want to do is loan against housing or real estate. And the entire economy has gone down to the crappers because nobody can scratch together 50 grand for a huge opportunity.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's sad. It's crazy.
Point,
and then they make you jump through hoops, and they make you make business plans and put all this money into a potential loan that you literally will never get. That who gets loans? The big companies that have tons of cash flow, a ton of money already, and they already have a ton of inventory. Those guys get more loans, right? It's the guys that, like you're saying, or trying to start a new business, have a new idea. They have to go out to the private markets. And have you ever taken an idea out to the private market?
No.
It's pretty intense, right? It's pretty crazy because you don't know what people are going to like and what angle people are going to look at it from and what they're going to take. And it's to get money for anything takes the amount of people you need to hear how bad your deal is or what's wrong with your deal or your idea or whatever. you know, you got to hear a million no's and a million this is what's wrong with it, and you got to still kind of get through that and find the person that sees the idea or the vision. And then you have to get through them raping you and stealing a ton or most of your business, right? And making you a slave to your idea and ruining the whole fucking thing, right? And like you go, go.
So I asked. So I had this situation, and my wife and I were. She was going to a conference down in the States, and she works for an American company. And you know, I was on the phone, or I was on the plane with a guy. They were going to the conference as well, but we had actually rerouted through another airport, and then the company had put us on this plane. So we had, you know, I forget we were out of Atlanta or something like that. And so we met up with, you know, a couple that was going to the conference, and I explained this to the guy beside me, and he says, "Yeah, I know, I work for Wells Fargo, right?" So I said I had this experience. I want to get a little bit of a loan, just so like I didn't want to take that much money because I didn't want to be in debt to the bank, right? 50 grand, you know, I was gonna hoard it, just keep it in the back, just so that, you know, if I had it, I needed it, whatever. But I sort of liked operating one at a time, you know, kind of thing. And I was asking the guy, he says, you know, he works for Wells Fargo down in the States, and he did loans. And I said, you know, here's my situation. Like, what would this be like, you know, in this situation? You know, I've got this scenario. Like, you know, if I came to you at the bank, would I get a loan? He said, you know what, we would figure out a way to get you a loan. That's, you know, like, that's his exact words, was we would figure out a way to get you a loan.
Wells Fargo in the States.
Wells Fargo in the States.
Sure.
So that's the difference between there and here.
Yeah, big difference when it comes to that kind of thing. I mean, their whole real estate is, I don't even know what percentage it is of their GDP, but it's like it's a pittance compared to ours. It's our entire economy, right? Like if their real estate market slows, it definitely has a big effect on their economy. Don't get me wrong. It's not the same kind of effect that it has here. And they're geared towards like risk, you know, the Americans are, right? Like they're just like, they're programmed to go for crazy risks and have crazy risk tolerance. And I don't know how all these VCs raise all this money that get put into so many like losing ventures, but somehow it works.
I mean, I think I was born in the wrong country because, you know, I was growing up, you know, I was, you know, typical lemonade stand, you know, when I was 7. My grandfather had worked for a company that made lemonade. So I'm out at 7 years old. I'm selling lemonade on the bus stop. I was shoveled snow during the winter. I cut grass in the summer, you know. I was delivering newspapers, right? So, you know, I've always been brought up with just sort of hustling and, you know, going out and, you know, just finding a way, right? You know, figuring out a way to make something work, right? So I thought, you know, like I'm going through life and I'm like, okay, I start this business, I start that business. I had about 10 different businesses, right? Different things, different, you know, car business, a whole bunch of different things, right? I kept on coming up through life and I'm thinking, you know, like, you know, why don't people just go out and start businesses? You know, like it's just, you know, I got to the point, I'm about 40 years old. I'm like, you know what? Nobody wants to start businesses. This kind of like mentality doesn't, I thought, you know, I'm like, oh, you know, like there's every other person would just go out and start a business. I would say it's 1 in 1,000. What would you think? Like somebody that's motivated to go out and actually start a business and take that risk. What do you think the population of people would actually do that out there?
I'm one of them. And I mean, I have to be crazy, right? Like I don't know. I don't know anything else, but I got to imagine, like I've never got a business loan from a bank ever. I've used the bank's credit cards and I have, thank God, when my wife and I got married, we got 2 unsecured lines of credits from the bank that has just been able to stay with us forever. And like between that and credit cards, I was able to make my own super high interest loans from time to time to start businesses, right? But this is not like
exactly what I did.
Right. This
that's
is
exactly
not
how I did.
But this is how you do it. Unless somebody's throwing money at you or you get like some big contract with a big deposit at the beginning somehow, which I suppose there's people that can start businesses like that. I don't know where the capital comes from, because you can't go to the bank and say, hey, I'm starting a construction company. I need tools. I need guys. I need a showroom. I need a warehouse. I need offices. I need salaries and computers. And, you go to the States, boom, you got a $500,000 loan.
They'll do it.
No problem.
They'll write the loan. It'll be expensive, but, and not visa rates. They'll write the loan.
Visa rates.
I was 3 hours on the plane to Puerto Rico with this dude and, chatting about banking and stuff. And he says, yeah, we like loans all the time. We write off loans all the time. It's just the way that we do things, right? But, inherently in Canada, there's one thing to take away from this conversation is that the banks need to change their ways. And I don't know if, this is going to be a generational thing where we need to get back to the point where people will go out and start businesses. And I don't think, honestly, domestic born people, I do not think are going to be those people that are going to do it. It's going to be people that are going to come from other countries that are going to start businesses. And you know what? If we can change one thing in Canada, is that we need to support those people. Even if the banks are going to lose money or whatever, there's going to have to be a risk department where, the level of risk, and you know what? They've been able to get off real easy by just loaning to real estate. Those days are over. So, the mentality out of the United States has to come here, because we cannot just have, people just leveraging up houses one after another to end up blowing all up, which this is what we're going to see. Is it's all going to get blown up. And then we're going to say, well, what do we do now? And down in the States, they're going to just take on more risk. They're going to be more productive. But to instill that kind of a mentality in people, Canadians are just not like that. I mean, all they want to do is get a government job and have their benefits, and that's it, right? Like you and I are, I would say 1 in 1,000. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Maybe it's even more than that. If we just keep on with what we're doing right now, this is not gonna end up well.
No, but okay. So here, this is what's gonna happen. I'm pretty damn sure. I'm hanging up on you now. Okay.
Okay.
Have a good day. Thank you so much for calling in. I really appreciate it. Have a nice day. So I think what people will do, and I think a lot of people will take the lead from our leader, Mr. Carney. Okay, I think. Oh, there, I ended the call. Sorry about that, everybody. I think what's going to start to happen now is business people. I got to turn this off now. Business people that are in the country are going to start to follow Mr. Carney's lead and open up offshore corporations to do their business here in Canada, because apparently that's okay. Apparently that is okay. Well, thank you, Mr. Jeff O'Toole, who is definitely no fool. He is 1 in 1,000, just like me, entrepreneurial, crazy, Canadian, no loans, built on the back of credit cards, whatever we can scrape out every day of the week. Here we are. Mr. Jeff, thank you for calling in. But I think this is what's going to happen is more and more people, more and more businesses are going to open up offshore accounts, work here from Canada, and figure out ways, just like Mr. Carney, to skim taxes away from the taxpayer. Now, what I wanted to talk about, and what I need to talk about, and what I think should be talked about, because I believe this will bring down the cost of living for many, many people. This will bring down the CPI basket of goods for many, many people. Maybe not every people, but many, many people. And while you are getting geared up and ready to deal with what I am about to unleash on you, which you may never be ready for, you may never recover from this ever again. Okay? But I feel like this was a brilliant, brilliant move. A brilliant, brilliant, brilliant move. One more piece of licorice before I get into the topic. Thank you once again for Jeff O'Toole, the only not vagina in the group. I had to lick the black licorice off my fingers before I touch my mouse, because that's why. Just in case you're wondering. Okay, so in China, as part of the retaliation for all the crazy tariffs, they have decided to take the approach of, well, you know what? Fuck you. We're going to unleash your secrets on the world. And I don't know if you have seen this yet, but you really, really should. Okay? You really, really should. It's pretty crazy. I can't even believe what's going on. I can't even believe my eyes, folks. I can't even believe my ears. What the Chinese did, okay, all over TikTok. If you're on TikTok, I imagine it's on Instagram. I got to think it's on Facebook by now. And I've definitely seen it on YouTube. God damn it, my back is fucking killing me. Okay, and I didn't even eat my licorice. What's going on is the Chinese, in a revolution, in a revolt, have. Do you remember in The Wizard of Oz when Dorothy saw the wizard cranking the stuff and then opened the curtain, unlocked the secrets, opened the veil, lifted the veil, shall we, if we can. Lifted the veil on the entire luxury goods market and said, hey, guess what, everybody? You're dumb. Your people have been fucking you hard, but you're dumb. You've been marketed to death. They fucked you. And those bags that you're paying thousands upon thousands of dollars for, they're made right here in China, right? They're made right here in China. They're shipped to Italy, and then they put on a logo and a label, and they mark it up 8 billion times to you. And they're not only doing this with the bags. They're doing this with Under Armour clothing and Nike clothing and Lululemon clothing and Chanel and Gucci and Ferragamo and Rolex. And it is an unbelievable crazy story what's going on right now on TikTok, at the very least. I believe it's all over the place. Everybody's talking about it right now. That's why we're talking about it right now. But China has said, hey guys, guess what? You're paying, you buy that bag that costs you $38,000 US. We make it here for $1,500. You can buy it from us, plus add on the tariff, okay? Add on a little shipping, and it's still going to cost you $35,000 less than the bag if you bought it straight from Gucci or Chanel or whoever makes Birkin bags, right? All these motherfuckers have been robbing people blind for eons. And China has said, you know what? Fuck you guys. We make good stuff. Enough of this narrative that Chinese people only make crappy stuff, and only the crappy knockoffs come from China. Because guess what, friends? Everything, the good, the bad, the minerals, the everything for everyone comes from China. We made a big mistake, everybody. We gave them the keys to the car, right? And now we want to declare them the enemy. And they're saying, suck it, right? They're saying, suck it. So here we go. Let's see them tell us what's going on out there in the world for real.
Today I'm going to show you around the largest wholesale market for bags in Guangzhou. This market was built in the year 1993, covering 43,000 square meters. There are more than 700 shops in it, with each shop specializing in their own styles and designs of bags. Come on, let's go.
I don't know how many bags you've bought recently, but these look like the same bags as everywhere.
And of the 700 shops, this one is mine. Come have a look.
So this is the guy who's been causing all the trouble on TikTok, at least. He's been banned a bunch of times. All these brands that he's outing are getting him banned and blocked for copyright infringements on their brand. But this guy's saying, fuck you guys. I think basically the Chinese government said, okay, guys, like they turned off some rule, the secret pricing rule of the United States or of North America. Or it's like they turned off the scam, basically.
This showroom is just a fraction of all the products, all the bags we have. You recognize this style and all the others. Anything you want. As you
Do you recognize, he says.
see, there are more than 700 shops selling all kinds of bags just in this one market, and there are many other markets in Guangzhou. And also there are so many factories making all kinds of bags. Why you should select and buy bags from us? What is our strong suit? Let me just tell you this. The real OEM factory for those luxury brands. We are the same group of people, the same group of artisans.
Artisans. They want to be known as artisans now. You understand?
We know how to make them real. We know how to make them good.
This is their whole shtick now, is they want to be known. They want it known, okay? They want it known now that they're the guys, okay? Enough of this nonsense. It's us, guys. It's us. It's us, guys. And so here, I have another one of these videos, just so you kind of get it.
Today, I'll show you the
Is that a Hermes bag? Is that what the H stands for?
Hermes Constance 19. In cream white matte, crocodile leather, color code I2 Nata. It's a warm-toned popular shade, warmer than milkshake white and softer than glacier white.
I don't know what this is. I don't know why I'm watching it. Here, look at this. This is the guy. This is the guy. Birkin bag at the boutique.
This Birkin bag at Hermes boutique will cost you 38,000 USD. But what is the real cost out of the factory? Today, I'm going to break it down in front of you, step by step. First thing first, Hermes only use the leathers from the 3 top-level suppliers. One is called Muti from Italy. The second is Weinheimera from Germany. And the third is Haas from France. One piece of Togo leather, the same leather as this one, will cost 450 USD. And one piece of the leather is only enough to make one Birkin, okay? The thread. And of course, for Hermes Birkin, the thread is also the best top level. It's called Fil Al Chinois from France. This is actually the Rolls Royce in thread. For each bag, the cost is 25. This Birkin.
So this guy's kind of spilling the beans on everything when it comes to Chinese bags and Chinese companies making them for people.
Dear sisters, do you know that our company has been 30 years old? Wow. Our factory is 25 years old, and I am 37 years old, just for your information, okay? What I want to say is that we are serious about our business. We're not fooling around. We're not trying to, get your money.
You see, these guys all of a sudden, their stuff is double in the States, which I guess on the cost is not such a big deal. I wonder what that does to the market, right? The market, what do they do? So they see that there's tariffs increasing the cost of everything by 145% or something. And so so Birkin bag then should go from like $38,000 to $95,000, right? Isn't that what should happen? A Birkin bag, right? So, but they can't do that because the cost didn't go up that much, right? It went up like $1,500 or $2,000 or something. But these guys, I think, their orders are probably drying up at the moment, or they're about to, and they just want to maybe it's just a giant fuck you. Maybe it's just a gigantic fuck you.
Money and disappear forever. That's not what we do. What we aim to do is to make bag business a lifelong business. For example, every time we decide to make bags of some specific popular design, first thing, we will buy the original bag from the boutique and we study it. Our experienced engineer will make a prototype out of this original bag to see how we can make it well. And of course, after...
Is he saying that they copy the originals? They're not supposed to be making them? It's just a giant knockoff factory?
The prototype, our experienced artisans will make sure every bag out of our factory is of exactly the same quality, the same material. It looks the same, touches the same, feels the same, it gives exactly the same perception.
Anyways, I'm sure you're bored of the Birkin bags, but this is what's going on. And it's not just with Birkin bags, it's with like everything. It's with furniture, and it's with, let's see if I can find some more stuff. It's with all kinds of stuff. Chinese direct shopping, maybe. All these people now, yeah, here, check this out. All these people are now doing this sourcing from China direct thing. And
$6, $6, $5.5, $5, $10. My Italian client ordered a 7-foot container of handbags today, a total of 30,000 women's handbags with hundreds of styles. He said this batch of goods could make him $300,000.
I don't think this is really her voice, okay? Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think this is her voice.
€100,000. Do you believe it? Let me show you the details of the $6 bag. Exquisite workmanship and high quality. It can be hand carried or worn crossbody. And each bag comes with a dust bag. If you want to order handbags, contact me.
Okay, another handbagger. What else we got? What's this one?
Chinese content creators on TikTok are mocking President Trump's tariffs by sharing shopping hacks to buy products more directly. Several videos have gone viral from accounts aimed at US consumers on how to buy products directly from Chinese factories. The videos show items similar to both high street and designer brands, claiming money can be saved by leaving out the middlemen. As part of Trump's global trade tariffs, most Chinese imports into the US were hit with a tax of 145%. China responded with 125% tariffs on American products coming into the country. There are uncertainties over whether the factories shown in the videos are working directly with the brands they mention or simply producing very similar products.
That's the thing. Is it copies or is it the same? Or what's going on? What's this guy doing?
130, 130, 130, 130. All these men's jeans are only $130. I'm a clothing supplier in China, so I'm not kidding you. And the quality is very good. Look at the fabric and details. You can sell $10 or even $20 in your country, but the last 10,000 pieces are only sold for $130. If you are interested, please.
I think you get the point. You know, they're trying to sell direct to people. What's this guy doing? What's this guy saying?
$10, $10, and $10. Always $10. We have 7 colors. Look, app cards. Brown, pink, green. Green.
You get the point, right? So that's happening right now, is all of a sudden, not only, and these guys are saying, like, don't even call Alibaba, right? They're like trying to cut out every middleman. I saw some for, like those modular pre-made houses, like $6,000, and you can get a pre-made house from these guys with a bathroom, bedrooms, and all kinds of shit. But anyways, I just wanted to throw that into the discussion because I think it should be there. Oh, I have another video. I need to show you guys a couple more videos. I do apologize. Bear with me. I think it's worth it. This liberal video is ingenious, I must say. It's absolutely ingenious. How do I pause this thing? Have you guys seen this video yet? This is absolutely amazing. The power and the craziness of AI. And I know you're not dumb.
Because this is who we are. This is what we believe in. This is Canada.
Just in case you didn't get to see that this time around, the first time around, or you weren't sure what the F you're looking at, check this out again.
Because this is who we are. This is what we believe in. This is Canada.
Other than Klaus Schwab being incredibly skinny, super thin, I would say that is fucking remarkable. That you could even do that is insane. And while we're on the topic of insane, and we may not be, it could only be me. It might only be me on this topic. Maybe I'll save these videos for another day, because clearly this thing has lost steam right now. It's over. This live stream is horrific and it's not getting any better. Let's see. What do you guys have to say? DGAF about bags. That's rich people problems. I have one backpack, carry it everywhere. I have no idea what the fuck that means. Mark Ellett, who I don't recognize. So hello, Mark. How are you? I bet you don't, because you're emotionally involved and intellectually devoted. I bet you don't. What? What did I do? Locally created artisanal good increase in value. Proven fact that doesn't support your emotional agenda. What the F is that guy talking about? Sheridan Forbes, the tax rate is the incentive. What's going on? Productivity and competition are a sin. Oh, okay. So you guys really didn't talk about much, eh? Did you? Nothing going on? Corruption 360? Damn, you said the tariffs are going to be reversed within a week. Where are we at with the tariffs, by the way? Does anybody know? Because I clearly have no idea. Jeff talks about the tariffs. The canary is dead. The canary is dead. D. Trent is talking in code. Now, she is now laughing. Sitting here with my daughter. Okay. So what was the answer? You just talking more code? Just more code. I'm out now. Can't deal with the chew. Oh, Jason took off because of the chewing? What a fucking vagina. Jason. 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 You're a fucking vagina. D. Trent. A little chewing scares him away. Now is she is now laughing. This could be AI, Darryl, says Gordzilla. Hopefully, it's not the Audi dealership. She's probably a real estate bull. Ain't no fool, it's Jeff O'Toole. That's what I was trying to say, dumb money. Thank you for being here. Appreciate your efforts and your time. I wonder if D. Trent's daughter's first word was sell. No. No, it wasn't. It was Carish Real Properties. Okay. Dumb Money says, lol, followed closely by don't buy. Jim Van Unsk says, oh, hold on a sec. Did you add the van into your name? You did. The genius? LOL, I love it. Jim Van Unsk. It sticks. Not Usk, not Unsk. You got to change it because I don't say it right. Quarter point drop is worth $100 per month to me at least. Jeff, talk about the tariff. Okay, so literally nothing happened. I didn't get an answer about what the hell D. Trent's daughter was talking about. And somehow, now that I'm not talking about anything, I'm staring at my phone, literally just reading comments from you morons that think that you're so smart out there. Now all of a sudden, there's a bunch of viewers. And maybe it's because, I don't know, are you guys at the same point in the show as I am? Are you in the same point of the show as I am? Maybe you are, maybe you're not. Mark is 100% correct. Coconut Patel, tariff is paid by the consumer ultimately. Yes. 245% traffic on China by Trump. Don't know what that means. Don't know what that means. And I'm not sure that at this point I do care at all. I don't even know if my mortgage got finalized. And that's a little concerning because, I mean, I really don't understand what would be the deal. What would be the problem? I just got an invoice from somebody who didn't even do anything. Why are you invoicing me? You son of a bitch. I hate that. I hate that when I got to question somebody's invoice. Do you ever have to do that? Do you ever chicken. You know, I question whether or not this live stream, me unleashed live without any filters, is a good idea. And sometimes I wonder if this is worse for my business. And sometimes I wonder if maybe I should prove to you guys that I am actually really good and very professional in my business career. That I'm not just this goofy Goomba that's shooting the shit live all week and doing social media. If my ego needs me to tell everybody and show everybody that I'm not just this sweatshirt wearing, hat wearing schlaboobameyer, okay? And maybe it doesn't matter, but I hope to God that this is not ruining things for me, right? Because who the hell would do that? That seems dumb. But we're growing slowly but surely as a family, as a channel, and I do appreciate all of you from the bottom of my heart. And, excuse me, wherever else I could be thankful from, I would like to be thankful from there. And I will be back again at some point in the near future, I think. That's the plan. It's not a good plan. It's not good for everybody. It's certainly not good for me. But some of you may or may not get anything beneficial from this programming.